Today we follow the story of Joaquim Andrade and how he won PSG the Champions League, a task that seems impossible for even the likes of Messi, Mbappe and Neymar. But Andrade was the missing piece in the puzzle, the one player that PSG needed to win the big ears of Europe. Our story begins in August, where Joaquim Andrade gets his debut and is given the captain's armband by Kylian Mbappe. The rules are simple for Joaquim Andrade in his mission: win PSG the Champions League, and he only has 1 year on his contract. Mbappe trusts Joaquim Andrade, but he doesn't want him to stick around. He wants him to do one thing and one thing only: win the Champions League. The league doesn't matter too much, but it was important to see Joaquim Andrade step onto the field and see what he was all about. It is safe to say that Joaquim Andrade's performance impressed a few people at PSG. Most importantly, Kylian Mbappe, the man who brought him here. PSG's road to the final begins here, and Joaquim Andrade begins his job, his duty, to drive them to that final. To prove that he is the man for the job, Joaquim Andrade would need to put in a good performance, and that is exactly what he did, scoring a first goal in the 22nd minute to put PSG in front of Juventus, in front of the Parc des Princes supporters, and later on in the match to get himself another goal assisted by Kylian Mbappe to score the second goal of the match and to give PSG a victory against Juventus. This would be the first step into Andrade getting PSG to the Champions League final, and what a good first step to take as well. The next match would prove tricky, but all PSG needed was a win, and they would qualify for the Champions League round of 16. Benfica stood in their way, and Benfica has a reputation of beating some very big teams in Europe. But Joaquim Andrade cannot fall to that. PSG cannot lose to Benfica unless they want to end this journey before it even starts. Joaquim Andrade gets himself a goal to put PSG in front, and he gets himself a second goal in emphatic fashion to ensure that PSG walks out of here with a 3-point and qualifies for the round of 16. The last match in the group stage was no more than a formality. Vitesse were already knocked out of the Champions League, and PSG were already first place. So there was nothing needed in this game. But Kylian Mbappe wanted to show the world that it's not all about Joaquim Andrade. He still has something to do in this team. And Joaquim Andrade said, "Okay, Kylian, I'm not going to be sitting idly by as you try to do great things on your own." And Joaquim Andrade one-ups Kylian Mbappe by scoring what is probably known to be the best goal of the season, to further prove to Kylian Mbappe, hopefully not sending it the wrong way, that Joaquim Andrade is here to stay, and he is here to make sure that PSG lifts the trophy at the end of this road. But that is them done in the group stages, dominant, and now we move on to the knockouts. The round of 16 in the Champions League, the kryptonite of PSG in recent years. But with Joaquim Andrade here and Kylian Mbappe on newfound form, these two seem to be a pretty dynamic duo. They seem unstoppable. So surely this year PSG can make it past Sevilla, a much more fortunate opponent to have, but they must not underestimate them. And more players need to show up. It cannot be just 2 players out of 11. And Messi realizes this by scoring a beautiful goal to show the world that he is still one of the best players in the world. But Sevilla wouldn't take this lying down. This wasn't the group stages anymore. You have to score goals, and Sevilla realizes that. But PSG realizes it too, and they don't want Sevilla to have a bit of hope heading into the Parc des Princes. A beautiful cross from Mbappe to put it onto Messi's right foot, and he volleys it into the net. PSG win the first leg against Sevilla. But the second leg would be far from easy. As long as they don't let their guards down, the curse will be broken. Nerves are high for both PSG fans and the players alike, as they've been in this position before, holding a lead into the second leg, but they've never been able to hold the lead and make it to the quarterfinals. But with Joaquim Andrade here, Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi, they had to make sure that they wouldn't disappoint the PSG fans. And this is why PSG made it through. Joaquim Andrade brings them another great performance. He delivers them a ticket to the quarterfinals, and maybe he can deliver them the trophy this season. I don't think it is necessary to explain why Real Madrid would prove to be a tough opponent for PSG, both mentally and on the pitch, but most importantly on the mental side, as Real Madrid were the team that knocked PSG out of last season's Champions League. But things would be different this time. Last season, Joaquim was not there. This season he is here, and this season he is the captain. And the effect would prove to be very important, as PSG would walk away with a 2-0 win at home. But comebacks are possible, especially with Real Madrid. All PSG need to do in this game is to not lose. It sounds simple, but doing it, now that's a different story. But with Joaquim Andrade as a captain, maybe it's possible. PSG broke through a curse to get here, and they held all the aces. And that would be enough to get them their semi-final ticket. One step away from Istanbul. That is the current situation for PSG. One team stands in their way, and the final stop is Italy, as they face off against AC Milan to book their place in the Champions League final. PSG have gotten there before, but could they do it again? Well, maybe they could, especially with a player like Joaquim Andrade in the team and with Kylian Mbappe on top form. PSG would prove to be able to topple AC Milan, and they would be able to walk away with a 1-0 win thanks to a bit of magic from the Portuguese maestro. Take a deep breath, pinch yourself, because PSG is just one step closer to the final. 90 minutes away to being able to book your tickets to Istanbul if you're a PSG fan, and 180 minutes away from them potentially lifting the Champions League trophy for the first time in their history. Would Joaquim Andrade prove to be PSG's messiah, the man to deliver them to the promised land, the man to get them to that final, the one to end PSG's drought of European glory, the one to put his name in history, to put PSG's name in history, to put them on the trophy? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. See you at Istanbul, ladies and gentlemen.
It's cold, just lying here on the floor. Cold tiles, my feet against the door. How long have I been in this space? Arms over eyes, help me retrace. How did I become the doormat here? said seemed pretty cavalier. Little by little you take control. It's a little uncivil how your game's in motion. And I don't even notice that I'm playing your game. Till you leave me a warning thinking I'm the one to blame.
Thanks everyone for sticking to the end of this story. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for another story, and I'll see you guys next time.